All right, Coach, just what were your takeaways from the road trip to West Virginia? You know, it's been kind of a recurring theme, slow starts and everything else. What did you see that was the biggest detriment to that loss?
Well, first, we have to be better. And like I said, me, I'm not an excuse maker. It starts with me helping our guys get better, and that's where we are. I don't like losing. I don't think many people in my profession last if they okay with it, and so I'm not okay with that. And so for us, we have to make some adjustments, tweak what we do to get better. And with that, that game right there, I thought we settled for too many threes. I thought we took 38 threes. That's not who we are as a team. And we know who we are. We just end up settling too many times for threes. We didn't understand the importance of balancing our offense out, which is what we typically try to do. So we had very poor balance offensively. And I thought defensively, it didn't complement what we do anyway offensively. I didn't think we defended where they felt us anywhere. We usually make teams uncomfortable. We usually make it a 94-foot game with pressure. And I didn't think our pressure was there. I didn't think we made them uncomfortable. And give them credit, they're a good team. When all their pieces are together and they're playing well, and they were able to take advantage of that.
When you say settle for threes, why does that happen then?
You get lulled into settling for threes because you're kind of open. And so most guys, when they're open, are going to end up, taking the shot because, well, coach, I'm open. But there's a reason why we're open. We still got to explore searching out a great shot, which means a more high percentage shot, maybe get to the free throw line, because if you keep settling for threes, you're taking yourself out of position even to get fouled a lot. So you can't get to the line as much as you probably could. And we got to the free throw line, but not as much as we could because we spent most of our time shooting behind the arc. And with some of them open, absolutely. If I graded all of our shots, a lot of them were open shots. But we still got to understand the balance of our offense, meaning that we have low post guys. They got to get more than a few touches. They got to get more than a few shot attempts. That's the balance we got to have. And I think it helps our overall offense out when we do that. And I think that's why it happened.
During timeouts then, are you and coaches talking to them about that to try and get them to slow that down?
Yes. We're talking about making sure that we balance our offense out. We have a saying, ground and pound, which means like football, that means run the ball. In basketball, that means play inside out. And so when we're saying ground and pound, don't settle, that's what that means for us. And we got to get our guys to do a better job. But innately, when you open, it's a feel. You open, you're in rhythm. It's a natural habit to want to just take the look, because we don't have bad shooters. So when they open, they want to, they feel they open, they got to take the shot. We got to be a little bit more selective in those situations. It's the first time I think we played against zone for the majority of a game. So it wasn't as if we've had 4 or 5 games under our belt where we were able to okay, here's where we are with this. It's the first team that's played us that many possessions in zone in both halves. And I think that may have been something that contributed to our guys. It's not, really getting in full flow in what they do against the zone.
Obviously, you've had a really rough stretch. Now you have to turn your attention to Texas Tech and the stretch to the conference tournament. How do you do that in terms of changing the mindset?
Well, we have to regroup and we have to respond. We have not done that in the last 4 games. We have to regroup and respond. And how do we do that? We have to do that by defending better, rebounding better, and being more physical. This is a very physical league. We have to, embrace that physicality, defend and rebound at a higher level. That will give us an opportunity. And we've had opportunities in 3 out of the 4 games. I felt we had opportunities in, so it wasn't as if we were far off. It's just that we had miscues on a few plays, that are possessions that we need to have, that we wish we had back. So that's where we are, and I think if we do those things, we'll give ourselves a chance to be competitive. We'll give ourselves a chance to win.
Johnny, you've been around a lot of teams playing basketball, and teams go through streaks or go through losing streaks. How do you avoid mentally your players kind of maybe checking out a little bit? I mean, and keep them maybe, I guess, upbeat. Keep them not to lose them, I guess, during a streak like this.
No, absolutely. That's always a challenge for all coaches. When you're going through periods of time like this in the season. It's just what you do with adversity. It kind of, defines who we are. When you face adversity, it's like, oh, we're facing adversity. What do we do? To me, you got to get back up. We've been knocked down. We have to get back up, period. It takes us getting back up, doing the things I just mentioned, doing them better, defending better, rebounding better, being tougher, on the court. And those are things that we can control. We can't control missing, making shots. We never will be able to control that. But we control how we defend, how we rebound that basketball. We can control those situations. And for our guys to understand, every situation like this is an opportunity. we have to always see it as such. It's an opportunity for us to get better. It's an opportunity for us to get back on the right side of this thing, and we can. And so that's the belief that has to permeate through our team. We still believe in our guys for sure. We need them to continue to still believe in themselves and believe in what we're doing. And as long as we have that, then I think we can turn our fortune around.
Do you like how your team has responded even through the adversity you guys have faced over the last 4 games?
No, if we had responded where I want to respond, we'd be winning. So no, I have not liked how we responded in that regard. I think we've been competitive, but not competitive enough. We need 40 minutes of UCF basketball where we're all out, not pacing ourselves, understanding how important every possession is. And so we have to get there, and that's what we have to get back to. When we were having the most of our success, that's how we were playing. We've gotten away from that, through various reasons, but it's no excuse for us to not go out there and to do the things that we talk about doing. Basically, play to our standards, play to our standards.
At this point of the season, every player is nursing some sort of injury or minor ailment. I know Ibrahima missed the game on that previous road trip at Texas Tech. I don't know, where is he at right now in this last game? I know you went with Omar a little bit more. I don't know if that was because of the zone matchup, but just kind of where is Ibrahima health-wise right now?
Like you said, everybody's battling something, so that's not our excuse. Everybody's battling something. What we gotta do is we have to fight through it. Everybody has to give what they have. Max out your energy and effort when you're on the floor, and that's all we can ask for. If you're out there, me, I come old school player. If you're out there, then that means you can go. And so if you're out there, max it out. And that's what we need from every one of our guys, regardless of where they're standing at physically. Nobody's going to put anybody out there in harm's way that's not healthy enough to play or healthy enough to contribute. So everybody needs to just do their job when they go out there to the best of their ability.
Jaylen had an off night at West Virginia. What do you need from him Saturday and really down the stretch here?
Well, we need from Jaylen what we've gotten from him most of the year. He's been one of our best players. He's been our leading scorer. And we need him to come out there and to go out there right away aggressively, understanding that he has to set a tone for us to help us. Now, that doesn't mean he has to be the one scoring all the points for us, because he doesn't. But he needs to stay aggressive, ready for his opportunities, and understand that we're with him. We're all on the same team. All you need to do is go out there and just be aggressive and max out what you're doing out there, and we're with you the entire way, because he's a good player. And when he's been successful, I think more often than that we've been successful. And so he didn't have an off night. He had a tough night the other night. And that's tough for any player. You go 1 for 11. That's a tough night, especially for a young player. And so it's something he has to shake off and go to the next play with a next play mentality. That's not who he's been all year. And if he goes back to being the Jaylen that we've had through most of the season, we got a better chance of being successful.
Before the season, you talked about Niels being a special player, and he just needed to learn the American game. He's been involved a lot in the rotation recently. What do you think he could improve on now?
Well, he needs to continue to grow as a player. As he gets stronger, he's going to be even better. He's getting more comfortable with the systems over here and what we do. And you can see that. You can see him improving. He's a really good shooter. I think he can improve there to even be better at it, more consistent. And I think as he does that, I think he's going to be that much better of a player, because he has a good stroke. And so, we need him to be one of the guys out there on the perimeter that's a major threat. That's when he's open, it's pretty much an automatic shot. And I think he's going to get there because he has a good work ethic.
When you're playing somebody the second time around, is it easier to game plan for that game or harder? For Texas Tech, do you look at the last 2 minutes and start there, or is it more detailed than that?
No, absolutely. We've of course, we revisited that game as a staff. We've looked at it. We watched the entire game as well, of course, as down the stretch, and see the things we could have done better. And that's 5 games ago or so. So for those guys, there's some things they've made adjustments on, and it's like we're tweaking kind of what we do. They're doing the same thing as you move forward. So we need to gather that information to make sure we, deliver that to our players as well as the feedback that we have from game 1 versus them, things that we could have done better.
Since the last time you played Texas Tech, they beat Kansas pretty good. They're coming off a win against TCU. Just kind of what stands out? What are some of the matchups to watch that makes Texas Tech such a challenge to play?
Well, we already know. It starts with their lead guard. He's going to be a guy that really helps them. Tressant's really good as well. And so those guards for them are really, really tough. So we got to make sure we do a better job of containing them. I thought we did a good job of containing them down there. I think we have to do a better job because they'll be more ready the next time we play them. Walton giving him threes, can't give him any looks out there. We gotta make sure got to find him and try to make sure we put him in position where he's not getting looks. So Trisant, Pop, as well as Walton, the guys on the perimeter we gotta deal with. And then inside, we gotta make sure that, we keep him off the boards from a rebound. And then, of course, from our game, I think he got started playing well. Williams got started in our game playing well. And I think he carried that on the next game against Kansas. I think he had 30. So we have to make sure we know where he is all the time as their four-man because he can pick and pop and knock down threes. He's a very good rebounder. They have a good team. They have good depth, and they have a lot of accomplished scorers. So we got to make sure we lock in on them defensively and make sure we know where those guys are at all times.
On defensively, are you happy? Well, yeah, I know you're not happy about it, but how would you describe your team's defense against West Virginia in just the last couple of games?
Definitely not happy with how we're defending. That's why I think we started off talking about we have to defend, rebound, and be tougher. At what we do. We have to be, and we haven't been those things in the games that we've played, and we have to turn that up. And so defensively, you give up 48% from the field, 50% from three. That's unacceptable. That's not who we've been all year. Even in the previous game before that, versus Cincy, they shot 41% from the field. 42. That's still hot for us, but 48 is ridiculous. We cannot allow teams to shoot with that type of efficiency in this league and have a chance to be successful. We've got to slow teams down. We've got to make them shoot a lot worse percentage from behind the arc and in the lane.
At 4 and 5, you had been saying that the team was getting better. I mean, do you feel there's a regression now to a mean maybe here?
No, I think for us, we were moving in the right direction for sure. I mean, up until our last game, I felt we were moving in the right direction. Pretty much they were one-possession games coming down the stretch. So the things we had to clean up was, in-game execution, understanding what we're trying to get in those situations, whether it's a big stop, a big rebound, and or scoring our iron. We kind of knew exactly where we were up until the West Virginia game. I didn't think, we didn't play as well in that game all around. But the previous 3 games versus Texas Tech, versus Cincinnati, I thought we were in position where we could have won those games as easy as we lost them. Even the BYU game ended up being, a 2-point game at the end. So for us, we got to get better. We have to improve in those areas I just mentioned because we can. Those are things that we can control. Like I said, making and missing shots we'll never control. We can control how we defend. We can control our ability to rebound the basketball. Those are things that we're concentrating on the most because if we secure those things, we'll put ourselves in position to have a chance to win every night.
You've been able to beat a couple ranked teams at home this year. You have Texas Tech on the weekend. What's your message to the fans to come out?
Of course, we need them. We need them. I mean, that's been a big part, I think, why we've been successful. Is those, fans coming out, understanding their effort, their energy in the building has been electric, and I think our guys have really fed off of that. And so I think we need those guys to come out like they have been all season long, and that just really helps aid our team and gives them that little extra that we need. Like I said, they've truly been a 6-man. It's like having a 6-man on the court, the way they get after it, the way our crowds are going, the way our student section is going. And, without them, I don't think we'd be in the position we're even in now. So we need those guys to come out. We need those guys to rally around us, and we're going to rally around them.
Every game you say is a must-win. With the team struggles on the road, how much more magnified is must-win protecting the home court?
And very, very important. It's very important to protect our home court because, as you mentioned, road wins are tough to come by in this conference. I mean, not just for us, but most teams. So we have to make sure that, we defend our home court. Then that gives us a chance to go out on the road and try to get a win. But we have to defend our home court to the best of our ability and then go from there. And as you say, for us, it just starting off with the 1-0 mentality. How do we set that up? We have to approach it one game at a time. The next biggest game for us is Texas Tech, and that's how we have to approach it.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, guys.
See you Saturday.
Got it.